Yo, what's up guys, Sexy Frog here with a new episode of PC Builds. So today we are gonna go build a PC for a budget of 30,000 baht. This PC will be capable of playing any AAA titles at 60 FPS at max settings. But do remember, this doesn't include the peripherals. So this PC is mainly aimed towards the people who are looking to buy a new PC that can play any games at 60 FPS max settings on a 1080p monitor. It'll be perfect for those who wants to get into gaming but don't want to spend those insane amount of money to get good performance. So let's get right in. So for the case, it's really up to your preference actually. If you want to show off your case to your friends, then go ahead and get the case from NZXT, Corsair or Fractal Design. But for this particular build, I'm going with a ZALMAN R1 case because I feel that the money is better invested elsewhere than spending a lot on the case. So this particular case is on sale for 1600 baht, and this price you won't be getting a better deal than this. This case is a mid-tower case with ample space for upgrades in the future as well. So it's really hard to say no to this case at this price. Next one is the motherboard. Again, I'm not gonna go crazy and get a godlike motherboard or something because I feel motherboard doesn't do much to improve your gaming performance. Yes, it's true that you can overclock and all that shit, but I feel that overclocking is for enthusiasts and probably most of us don't really overclock anyway. And with this PC, you won't need to because it's gonna run any games you throw at it at smooth 60 FPS. So I chose the Gigabyte H110M, and this motherboard is on sale for 1950 baht. This one is a Skylake motherboard and it accepts DDR4 RAM. Again, the pricing for this motherboard is really sweet and I really recommend you guys not to go for an expensive motherboard. This motherboard doesn't have the best sound quality and internet port, but it should be just fine for most of us because we don't really need to use high-tech sound quality anyway. I'm using an older Gigabyte Z97 Sniper and I can tell there's not much of a difference in sound quality from this one. For the processor, I'm going with the Intel Skylake i5-6500 3.2 GHz model. At this point, if you're looking to play the AAA titles, then you should at least have an i5 processor. And I think the deal on this is just too good at this moment. The processor is on sale for 7,200 baht and it does a fantastic job running all the games smoothly with its 4 cores. As of now, I don't really think it's necessary to lash out some extra cash and get an i7 unless you want to do some serious rendering. So this is the reason why I chose this particular processor. Again, I'm not choosing the K model because I really don't think that the people wants to overclock the CPU or the GPU. As for the RAM, I'm going with the G-Skill Trident Z 16GB model. So this is a DDR4 RAM and it will be more than enough for playing games and doing other stuff. The reason why I'm picking this RAM and not the 8GB one is because the games are becoming more and more demanding and 8GB sometimes has a hard time to keep up. This RAM will do just fine for years to come and it's on sale for just 4,400 baht. You can still upgrade in the future if you want to up to 32GB, but at this budget 16GB is more than enough. And for the SSD, I went on and picked up the GALAX Gamer SSD 120GB model. I'm not going for the more expensive 500GB or the 1TB model because I think it's crazy to spend a lot of cash on an SSD for just loading the game faster. 120GB I think is all you need. I'm using the 120GB model as well, and all I use it for is to store my Windows, and because I want to load my Windows faster, this does the job just fine. For the games, the hard disks would do just fine. You can store the games in the hard disks and store your Windows application in the SSD, and also stores a few games like CSGO and Dota which you play regularly in the SSD. This SSD is on sale for 1500 baht and I think it's very cheap at this moment. I remember buying mine for like 2200 baht just a year ago. Again, I think for some people it's totally unnecessary to get an SSD and maybe you can invest the money into a bigger capacity hard drive. So it's all up to your preference. Now, this one is just an added hardware and it's totally up to you whether you actually need it or not. But for most people like me, it's necessary to have a DVD drive at least to store some files for work or school. Anyway, it is very cheap at this moment and you can get it for just 550 baht. So for people who buy the games in digital disc, it can also be useful for them as well. This is probably the most important component if you're looking to make a gaming PC, but at this moment our budget is tight, so we're going to pick up the GALAX GTX 1060, the 3GB model. So this one is the sweet spot for 1080p gaming at this moment and it can crush any games you throw at it at 60 FPS with max settings. The reason why I choose this and not the 6GB model is because it is just 4 or 7% faster than the 3GB model and it doesn't really make much difference at 1080p. So also the price for the 6GB is almost 2000 baht more than this one, so I really recommend you guys just to pick the 3GB model and you will do just fine at 1080p. Last but not least, for the power supply, I went with the SuperFlower Leadex Gold 550 watt power supply. So this model is on sale for 3100 baht, and the reason I went with this particular power supply is because I used the same one but with more watts, and I should say that it's a fantastic power supply. It does very good job at powering up all the components, and it is gold certified model, so it's good for a lot of things as well. I really think that you shouldn't gamble your money and go for a power supply which is very cheap, because this may damage your components, or maybe some of the components might not work to its full potential. So always get the gold certified one for yourself. So therefore the total for this particular PC is 29,780 baht, and yes, this gaming PC is able to play any games at 60 FPS and also have enough space for future upgrades. So yeah guys, if you like this video, then leave a like and share your comments and thoughts below. And also, if you want to see more future videos, then subscribe to my channel. And until then, stay sexy.